And we're live.
Hey everybody, it's been a while. We
Just a
didn't have
bit.
anything. Well, we didn't have anything to share, but with the opening of Alpha, finally, thank God, we have a flood of new news to go over. I thought we'd start with the most basic of things with the Dracthyr and um,
Dragon riding
the,
mount
the
customization.
dragons because there are 4 different dragons, one for each zone.
Which I did not realize that. Okay, so
Yeah.
back up for a hot sec. I thought you picked one at the beginning. Like you go in and you go into the starting area. You do your thing. Like not the Dracthyr starting area, but like the start of the
You,
expansion.
even the Dracthyr starting area has its own dragon.
Oh, well, that's good.
Well, no,
And
well, for us, the Dracthyr have soar, so they will have their own flying ability
yeah,
for the first.
but they made it seem like at the beginning, like if you went to the actual like Dragonflight page, it says select your mount to quote unquote fly through the expansion. So I didn't realize that we were going to get a different mount depending on what zone we were in. But if I understand correctly, once they're in your mount journal and you've done everything, are you able to ride any one of your choosing?
I haven't
Do you
heard,
know
but that also might just be how the alpha is working right now. Like,
that you just get one per zone?
yeah,
Okay.
so because they're not in every zone in the alpha right now, right? So
Okay.
they're basically they get one zone per phase of the alpha. So and like right now, I don't even think they got any zone this alpha testing phase.
No,
I
I
think they're
think
just
it's
sort
all
of,
talent trees and stuff.
well, no, it's not that. I think they're stuck in Ogremar.
Oh, even better.
So I'm not sure. I'll have to check Tali's VOD tonight after we finish this episode. But um, no, that can't be right. There's no way they would do it. I think they're still stuck where they were. But they were getting, for every zone they were doing, they were getting a different dragon.
Okay. So it could be that it's every zone. It could just be that in that zone currently is the
But each
dragon that they're
zone
getting
has
most.
a dragon associated with it.
Okay.
And you can just tell by the names of the dragons which one
Yeah.
is associated with which.
Got
So,
it.
and each of them have a full spread of customizations that go with it and customizations that can be earned through well, not really achievements. Well, yeah, some achievements, but also through just like races and like racing like times,
Mm-hmm. The timed
which are
racing.
also sort of also I guess equal out to achievements. PvP races, which is just 5 players,
Mm-hmm.
um, which brings us to the Dragonflight or Dragon Riding talent system, which is earned through trial and error and finding them on the map. Each zone has probably between 10 and 30 of them. And they're in really obscure places, but it is fun to go find them.
Aren't they marked on the map with a little hourglass symbol?
No.
Oh no,
Not
that's the
not the
trials.
yeah, not the dragon glyphs.
Got it.
But the achievement for each one tells you roughly where they are.
Got it. And of course, as everybody knows, by the time this game comes out, there will be a handy notes or whatever to help you find them. And if not,
Oh yeah.
there will be links in Wowhead, obviously, in order to find
Yep.
what you're looking for.
By the time the beta comes out and those guys get their hands on it, we'll know where everything is.
Oh yeah, it'll be the secret finding community that finds everything, as always. So before we go farther down the dragon flying aspect, I wanted to go over just the metric ton of customization options for the Dracthyr.
Supposedly there are 80 million combinations. I don't think that's possible, based on what we are seeing here.
I do believe this is just a randomization here of different options that you can have, showing off different colors, different horn variations. I do know not like random choices that you can do, but in total there are 41 customization options for Dracthyr currently. Now this includes armor that they can wear, wing accessories, horn accessories, different colors, different faces, air quotes, snouts is what I mean to say. All of that undercolor are all options that they can have, that there are 41 different choices to choose from.
Yes.
So,
now, that being said, you do not normally have access to alphas, correct?
Correct.
I do not normally have access to alphas. However, this alpha I do have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Not on my computer, but my best friend, well, my other best friend, Casey, did get alpha.
Nice.
He doesn't play them. Ever. Because he doesn't like spoilers.
Yeah.
But he let me build a Dracthyr.
Nice.
Because I wanted to see.
Fun.
So the armor and things like that are intrinsic to, or inherent to their customizations. They are the only class that the armors you can just slap on the body. And I think that's nice. Because you'll never see them wear gear that they pick up.
Yep.
Unless you're in Vizage form. I think you'll see it if they're in Vizage form, which is their human form.
And to be clear, the accessories and armor options are exactly that. They're optional. So you can, as a Dracthyr, run around completely naked. Even this guy is kind of technically not naked. I don't even know if they have an option here that doesn't have stuff on them.
Yeah, one of the when they just show you the body colors, they're all naked.
So let me move over to that so we can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. So here, the first thing that I had pulled up is the different color variations, which I was pretty excited about. One of the ones that I wasn't sure if they were going to do, which I think technically it is even not labeled that color. I don't think black is black.
It's labeled black.
It is? Okay, good.
Yep. They were not going to give it to us, but it's in game.
Yeah, so I was kind of excited about that. I think the chocolate is really interesting. That second on the top is a really interesting choice.
On this set of colors, one that I did not see when I was making it was that green one on the end. That particular with the stripes, yeah. There was one that was in between that and the one that's just beneath the red on the top row. I didn't see that line one, but I might have missed it because I was looking for a specific color, and it's that pink.
The second one in on the bottom row.
Yep. Yeah. Because I saw a hairstyle, which we'll get to that later, but I really like. So I was just looking for the pink, but yeah, the color options are really nice, and the markings, everything. But yeah, the colors. But you're right. The black I did not expect, because didn't they tell us that we weren't going to be able to be like Rathian?
I think so. That we weren't going to be able to do that.
So I thought that was interesting when we found it. I don't know if they ran across an inclusivity problem.
Well,
which is fine. I don't mind it. I certainly don't mind the fact that we would have access to the Black Dragon flight.
Well, I'm very excited about it because I actually wanted a Black Dragon. I have a whole thought process around a name and everything to go with that.
You don't get to play Umbra, so I'm not going to allow that.
No, that's definitely not it. However, I did find on the forums and stuff, and on the WoW Facebook groups and things, people were talking about the fact that there were purple dragons, and how they were really confused about the purple and the white dragons.
You mean like these two on the end?
Yeah, which I thought was very interesting because, and it didn't dawn on me until it was like, oh yeah, a lot of people haven't read Dawn of the Aspects, like the actual book. So the fact that there is a red, yellow, red, bronze, green, blue, and black flight of dragons. That's not actually all of the color variations that there were. It's that the other variations went extinct because of Galakrond. So there actually were purple and white. Very, like, there would have been aspects for those, but those color variations had gone extinct because of Galakrond.
I mean,
So
in the current iteration of what I know, from talking lore with you, the only purple, well, that's not true. I know one more purple dragon, but the only current, like, the possible, well, no, other than the one that I know of, because it's currently in game, is once Dragonflight drops, the only other one is Galakrond that's purple.
And Galakrond,
because every artistic depiction of Galakrond is purple.
Yeah, he's purple and gray.
Yeah, but the only other primal proto-drake that's currently surviving is a boss in the upcoming.
Correct.
Upcoming expansion,
which was, I'm assuming, probably done on purpose, because it's a primal dragon, which is what Alexstrasza and Norsdarmu and all of them were back during Dawn of the Aspects, back when Galakrond was alive. They were not dragons. They were proto-drakes, and in that they were more primal proto-drakes.
Yep.
What made them different, for those of you that don't know, what made them different is as proto-drakes started to evolve, they started getting smarter. And the smartest out of those were Alexstrasza, Ysera, and there were a couple others that are, if you read Dawn of the Aspects, that are in that book. They don't survive fighting against Galakrond. And the whole idea is that there were the, air quotes, not smart ones, which are typical feral proto-drakes, like the ones that we see now in game, the ones that we ride, the ones that we see out in Sholazar Basin, up in Northrend. Those are, air quotes, not smart. And then the smarter ones, either they're gone because they were killed thinking that they could outsmart Galakrond, and that didn't go very well, or they are the aspects. Those are the only options for the smart ones, because the whole idea was the smart ones were being, and I'm saying this with air quotes, the smart ones were being led by a specific bronze drake, and she thought she was super smart. She was totally going to outsmart Galakrond. Didn't work out that way, and she died. So smart is a relative term to them at that stage. Like, they could speak very little English, air quotes English. I guess it would be Draconic. They could speak very little words. The things that they would get across is kind of almost caveman style, the way that they would talk to each other. Some of it would be indicating and movements, and then some words where they could kind of work it together to get their point across, basically. And then obviously they evolved slowly but surely into what they are now, where they can have a whole conversation with you in whatever language you choose to speak to them with, because they know them all. So I just thought it was very interesting that people don't realize that, because they haven't read the book, that there were a lot of variations of dragons, and just because we don't have an aspect to go with that color doesn't mean that they weren't around. It's just that they're extinct now. And these just from what I understand, it's a little bit like Jurassic Park. You have the DNA, and then you get the other DNA from something else, and you splice it together, and this is what you get. That's the whole point with Neltharion, is that he was kind of a mad scientist. So he didn't necessarily need a purple drake to still be alive. He could just go get some of their DNA, and here you are. So I just thought that was very cool. I love the white dragon. I'm kind of on the fence, because of course I am planning on, as always, if you're new here, our goal is to have one of every spec on both sides. Horde and Alliance. So, having 4, 2 Evoker, or 2 Preservation and 2 Devastation on both sides,
it's going to be tough to do.
is tough, first of all. But also, I had this whole thought process around what I was going to make, what colors they were going to be, because, again, we were told we weren't getting black. So I was having a really hard time. I was actually going to wind up going with the super dark blue in the second row, fourth, like the second to the end in the middle row. I was going to go with that super dark blue color as my closest to black, or the first one on the bottom row, a super, super dark red. And so now I'm struggling because I love the white, I love the black. Like I said, I love that super like burgundy red. I love the really dark blue. I love the chocolate. Like all of the options here, they came up with some great colors. And I think what makes them so great is they're very vibrant. It's very jewel tones. If they're a warm dragon, they're really warm tone. If they're like a cool color, they're a really cool color. It's just, they did a really good job in their iteration of color choices. I know in this past like even, I will say, the red dragon, the very first one, I don't think it's as red as it should be. Because this last expansion in Shadowlands, they really came out with like red. Like the Season 3 mount for Mythic Plus, the Revendreth red. That red is it's my favorite color, red. And I feel like it's not red enough, in my opinion. But that's my only critique on the color options.
Well, that's the thing about that, though, is that red is moving, so it's easier to make it redder. Yeah. So putting that on a body frame would be difficult. Yeah. Like one of our body frames.
So, and as I said, that's pretty much my only critique. All the rest of the colors are really pretty. I love the variations. I even feel like there was an opportunity for even a couple more. I think they could have gone even more pink. I think they could have gone with a tan option even. I know we've got the bronze and then we've got the chocolate, but in between those two, I think we could have had one more color. So I think they did a really good job with our color options, and I'm not mad. That's my only critique, is we could have had a more pink, like a baby pink, like a super pink. We could have had a bronze.
For this they could have, because they do this if we want to like make our chats a specific color. Mm-hmm. They could have given each of these colors like a little bit of a color slider.
Yeah, just something. Just they're right on the cusp of perfection with their color choices. It's just there could have been just, as this is my feeling, one more red, one more brown, and a super pink, but that's it. But even then, we've got a pink, we've got a red, we have a chocolate brown / bronze. So no matter what, Blizzard did me proud this time.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah. So these are.
See, this is bone white. Now this is pretty good. So even with the purple, right on the far left. Mm-hmm. My only issue with this is you see how the second one there from the first one, it's at about 50% gradient. Mm-hmm.
So so really quickly, for those that don't understand, this, if you see my pointer here, is the variation of the undercolor on your character. So you can have none. So your character is bone white. That's it. And it can slide all the way up to their belly scales, the tips of their fingers, the underside of their tail, and their wings having a gradient color on the inside.
I want the wings to be separate from the belly.
I'm seeing white. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So if I want my belly to be white, I still want my wings to be purple.
Fair. I could agree with that. I do like
That's
how
I mean, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. This particular character still looks good,
yeah.
especially with the horn crest. That on the horn. The gold on the horn is jewelry that you can put on.
Yeah. And the
So
gold on the tips of the wings
and
is
on the
jewelry that
wings.
you can put on. So the
Um,
whole idea behind this is really nice. I do wish, and
and
we might come into a picture of it. I do wish that they had shown all the gradient colors.
yeah, and
Um,
this is of course an example without armor
correct.
again. So
Which you can choose, and you cannot have the jewelry and on the horns
oh
or
yeah,
the wings.
and
You
you
can
be
have it
complete.
completely.
And there's also feet and finger coverings as well that you
Yeah.
can completely ignore.
So the other
And
thing is
some tail stuff.
we haven't gotten it to it yet, but your talon color and your wingtip colors can also change. So
Yep.
anyway, so this is the gradient going from strongest to none.
And we want you guys to pay attention to particular attention to the arm spikes, shoulder spikes, leg spikes. There's neck spikes also as well over the throat. That's all stuff that can change and come off.
So, oh, here we are. So these are the
Yeah, here we go.
gradient colors. So, you have to kind of put yourself in that mindset. Okay, I picked a black dragon, and so my gradient color, for me personally, they don't have the gradient color that I want, so I probably won't have one from my black. They don't have even a basic red color, which
And I would have wanted orange personally.
yeah, like, well, to me, orange is a basic red color. Like, they don't have
The closest is that first one there.
yeah, they don't have anything that is red, orange. The closest they have is, as you said, that top one, and then yellow. They missed out. I know why they're missing out, because if they go in that direction too far, you're taking away.
Wing.
Yeah, you're taking away from Rathian. You're getting into Neltharion, Onyxia, Nefarious realm.
Yeah,
And
you're basically you're Deathwing at that point. And
Yeah.
there are helmets in the game that can put you at Deathwing if you have the red.
yeah,
Because
so
there are jawed helmets that can do that. So
yeah. So I get it, but I don't love the fact that I can't have a black and red Dracthyr. I do think, so the second to the last one on the top, the blue, I do think that ice blue is really cool. They did some, we're going to get to it later, but they did some really cool stuff with ice blue options.
I also like the mint green.
I was just
down
going to
here.
say, I hadn't seen the mint green yet, and I actually really like that. I wouldn't put it on a black dragon, but
no, it plays really nice with the black. It does. It takes us back to when we were playing the Isle, and when I was playing Diablosaurus. Yeah. So it plays really nice with a black dragon.
I'm really a big fan of that mint green.
You can't get a nice deep green. The mint is a nice substitute.
Yeah. So these are our gradient options. Next up is the very small amount of information as far as the shortest decision that you will have to make when making a Dracthyr are, you've got a whopping 3 choices for the side of your face. And then, and on this, just so that you're aware, the way that it looks.
I'm not sure what they're showing us here.
So if you look on the side of the snout, it's like the bridge of the nose. There's like
it is the nose. There they are. They are the noses.
It's like where the cheek and the nose come together near the eye. So
because there are like 5 different snouts you can give yourself.
There's more like I think there's more like 12 to 15 snout options. There's a lot.
But a lot of them are pretty similar.
Yes, they are. This specific thing, the thing to remember here is go find your snout and then come back to this option, because it vastly changes depending on what snout you choose. Because
I don't even think I messed with this.
Yeah, because if you choose like the raptor snout, this looks totally different than I think this is the not the ancient, but the one that's similar to the ancient snout that we'll get to. It vastly changes depending. So that middle one looks really nice on the raptor one, but the end one, it doesn't look like anything, especially on the raptor one. It's all about the bone structure on your face. If you think of a dragon, you're going to think of these first two options because that last option is like a chubby dragon. Sorry.
Because I couldn't figure out what this was changing on the initial, because I got to this option before I got to my snout.
Like, can you see my pointer moving?
Yeah, I can.
It's
and I can see it here.
Right there.
Yeah, I can see it here.
Yeah.
But what I could on the initial snout that it gave me when I was building the character, I couldn't see what it was changing.
You were like, what the heck are we doing? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so but when I chose my snout, I chose the one that was closest to the Legion Storm Dragons, the one I'm talking about from Stormheim. So my jaw was a little bit like that. I guess I should have come back and checked that after that, but
a lot of people don't know that.
I didn't think about it.
So yeah, so the biggest takeaway that I can give you is go pick your snout and then come back to this option, because
that was a good point. I didn't do that.
It doesn't, you don't see it until you pick the snout that you want, and then you come back and look. So that's what this is. So again, anybody that's missing it, where my pointer is, that is the option that changes on their face. It's like their cheek. It's your sinus cavity, basically, is what it is. Mm. Changes your sinus cavity. How much snot do you want to carry in your nose?
It'd be like the pits for snakes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So then we're looking at snouts here. So again, this is the option that currently is on all these snouts, is this third option where it has no indentation for your nasal cavity. That's what all of these snouts are.
Yeah.
So from top to bottom, I think you showed me your option is this second to last one down here, right?
No, it was the mine was the closest to that is the top one, top right corner.
This top right corner.
Because his nose is hooked up like the Stormheim ones.
The Shimada.
No, I just said there is one called the Shimada because I thought that was interesting because of Overwatch.
I actually really like the Shimada. And then
I don't mind a lot of these.
Yeah, some of them get a little into the snake realm for me. Like, hi Sethrak, how are you? But
there is a classic dragon head in here.
Yeah.
And so I'm not talking about WoW classic dragon head. I'm talking about classic
right here.
That, and then down here, third row on the right. This is classic, like Puff the Magic Dragon head. That's the one you would see.
Yeah.
In books and things like that.
This reminds me of Chomper from the Land Before Time.
Yeah.
He's got the little Chomper T-Rex head. Either way, I do think they did a really good job. This is what I'm talking about when I say, if you pick this and you have like what I call the chubby sinus cavity, which is what all these guys have, when you come back to look at these, as you can see, that really big change in the sinus cavity area, it will look different depending on the snout you choose.
Yeah, and I didn't go back, but
yeah, because like this right here on the ancient dragon head, putting in that first or second option really changes the profile silhouette or like the side view of that face. So it's pretty cool. I do think it's interesting that they gave you face options with horns, but they didn't give you an option to put the horn on the face, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gave you faces with horns, but they didn't give you the option to, let's say you wanted the ancient head with a horn on it. Instead of telling us these are your only options with the horn, give me a horn option and let it be like a small, medium, and large. So like small being like the one that's on this second on the top, but make it black, but super tiny.
There's one.
But it's not black is what I'm saying.
There is one. Second row, far right.
Second row, far. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like these are the only two faces that have black horns on them. But what if I want this face here?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure why we just don't have free reign of where our spikes and stuff go.
This dragon head, this last row, first one, is giving me Maleficent from old Sleeping Beauty from the 1980s.
Yeah.
This is like straight from that movie.
And I mean, like, even with my dragon, like I took the mascara off.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
these.
we'll get to that. Yeah, all of this
I
stuff
mean,
is interchangeable. We just haven't gotten there yet. I kind of like the side mascara-y look, but again, I'm a girl. I like lots of makeup. So anyway, so these are all of your snout options. There's quite a few. He said there were 5. I said there were more than 5. Um,
yeah, but I mean, a lot of them look really similar. I mean, like the elongated snouts, the rounded snouts. I mean, that's what I
17
meant by
options.
5.
There are a lot. But yeah, you're correct, because this one here, that one there, and this one, they're all pretty similar with just minor, like, smush in the
like,
face a little bit.
when you
pull it
break
out
them
a little
down,
bit.
some of them are raptors, some of them are Tyrannosaurus Rexes,
Yeah, some of them are snake people.
some of them are alligators.
Yeah, for sure. 100%, no doubt about it. These are lizard people, and you get reptile faces to choose from.
Yeah.
So then we're into horns.
Horns.
I do have to say that they did an amazing job with the idea of make it bigger, keep making it bigger. It's not big enough.
Right, because otherwise we're just gonna have like lizard people Draenei.
Some of these options, these horns, like down on the bottom here, where they're so big you can't even see them in the screenshot. I love that. I love that they are so big. I do think we have so many horn variations in the game because of Draenei, Lightforged, and Demon Hunters, that they did a decent job finding new silhouettes, new ideas. I do think that they didn't have to completely stray away, because there are some really nice ram options in the Draenei department. I think the only set that would not have worked at all is the Betrayer headset from, or horn set from the Demon Hunters, because that's Illidan, and it makes sense why that option wouldn't be available to them. But the ram horn options for the Draenei, specifically the Lightforged Draenei, the really big curled ones, I think they could have let them have those. Because their curled ram look, which is this one on the top, it's not my favorite. Not gonna lie. It could have been more grand, in my opinion.
Yeah. And we might get some more eventually. I mean,
yeah.
I think, I'm not sure how I feel about some of these. I think out of the grouping, my favorites are the bottom left.
Bottom left. This one?
Yeah.
That's the broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think it's like, which one is it? Oh, the second from the bottom, the far right. No, one more over, and then up. One more over. Yeah.
I like those. I like the bolt. So I know some of the names of these because I watched a video. I think it was Hazel making her character. So I got some of the names of these. So I like the bolt. It looks like a lightning bolt. I think that would be really cool with a devastation play style. I don't mind the kind of Talbuck looking ones. But my favorite, I would have to say, is probably this third on the bottom, or the fourth on the bottom. I like the really big horns on them, like giving them the more bulky body stance with the really big horns. As I said, Blizzard did a really good job with the whole make it bigger, now make it a little bigger, now make it just extra big, so that they have a hard time walking through a door frame. I'm all for it. I do think that they could have given us one more body style. Like, we've got the super skinny, we've got the medium, we got bulk, we need Hulk.
No, they don't need to be that big.
I think they do, but again, personal opinion.
Why would they need to be that big, though? They're not.
Because I do think that eventually we're going to be able to learn other
they wouldn't be able to fly.
Air quotes, fighting styles.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to fly.
It's wow. We've got bumblebees that carry us around, and bumblebees in themselves scientifically shouldn't be able to fly.
Right, but but they're not gargoyles, right? They're not made out of stone with gigantic wings. They have much smaller wings.
I don't know. That it's an opinion. I don't. I'm not
You're
mad with
free to
what
be
we got.
wrong, but you're
I
not
am
gonna
free
take
to
us
be
all
wrong.
down with you.
I know. So the bald one is odd. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. I get it, but I don't get it. But I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I get we're trying to be all inclusive.
Yeah, but also no.
But also dragon. Like that's a snake. This is a Sethrak.
Yeah,
I wanted to play Sethrak. I did not get what I wanted though, because I'm missing my Cobra hood and I'm unhappy about it. If you're gonna give me snake people, give me freaking snake people here.
I mean that's Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, exactly. So here
This I didn't expect. This I really liked when I discovered it was a thing.
So what it's not show, and it may show us in another picture, is the horn color changes your horn color everywhere, and it changes your talon colors as well. So your fingernails, your toenails, the tips of your wings, your horns, any extra horns that you put on your body, it changes all of their colors. Now, it would have been nice if there could have been just a little bit of interchangeability. But again, now we're starting to nitpick. Like, it would have been fun to have a set of blue horns with black spikes. That would have been fun. However, again, that's a bit nitpicky. That's a bit much. Again, with 41 options to begin with, that's nitpicky. Here's what I'm talking about with the ice blue thing. It's the last row, second one in. The ice blue option is interesting. When you start getting into those darker color dragons with these ice blue horns, or the green with the ombre effect on them, it's not, I'm not saying that, oh my gosh, that's what I'm doing. I'm just saying it looks cool. It kind of gives it a glow in the dark vibe.
And that's one of the things that also like is interesting, right? Because that one is the only one. Well, that one. The green and the purple are the only ones that are backwards on the ombre effect.
Yes. I did notice that as well. So all the rest of them, so the red, the kind of the tan color, and the blue, they all ombre from light to dark. And the purple and the green go from dark to light, which is nice. I like it.
And those two are my favorite out of the grouping.
Yeah, I kind of wish the blue was the opposite too. I would have liked the dark going into the light. I think it would pop a little better. I do find it interesting that this is the horn option that they chose, because again, I don't think the curled ram horns look the best. Like, as a curled ram horn there's more regal, give them some bigger spikes, make the curls a little bigger, like bigger. If we're gonna do this, do it a little bigger. But again, that's my opinion. I like the horn options. 16, not terrible. They all are pretty decently different. I would say there's only...
I mean, this is really the only way to give the fighting form hair, so...
Yeah. There's only color. 2 really on here that are, like, they are super the same, and I'm struggling to see the difference between the 2 of them, and that's the top and bottom right options. So this option here and this option here. These 2 are super similar to me. I'm struggling to see the difference. I'm guessing one's a bit lighter than the other. Or maybe we accidentally took a double picture here, because I really don't see the difference between those 2. But other than that, there's a pretty good group. I mean, even like this last one here and this middle one here, there's a decent difference. Like, this is a bone color, like a bleached bone color, and this is more of a bronzy horn color. The one thing that they didn't give us, and I just feel like this is an accident, because I think they did, is there's not a white horn option. And I think these 2 are the same, and I think one of them is supposed to be the white one. But I could be wrong, because I could have sworn we had a white horn option. Like how the Tauren have like a white bone horn option. Like lighter than this gray option and close to this bleached bone option. I think that this is an accident. this last one. I think it's supposed to, because it's Wowhead, guys. It happens. I think that's supposed to be white, and I could be wrong. But it's definitely the same horn. I'm like breaking this down, looking back and forth, and there is no difference between that top right and the bottom right. I do like the red. I think that'll be interesting. That therein is my chance to get my black and red dragon option. It'll be very interesting to see. My goal is to not show my dragon until we get in game and have that fun reveal between you and I, where you show me your dragon, I'll show you mine. Because I do know that you and I tend to have very similar, like ideas behind a dragon, or not behind behind a character. So it'd be interesting because I know we vastly different on our opinion of which dragon we like in the game. Like, I know you're a fan of the Storm Drakes.
Yep.
And I'm not. I like them, but they're not like my go-to for dragon choice. So it'll be fun to see the options between, like, the different choices between the two of us. I'm excited about that. So moving on.
It'll be fun to, when we get the pre-purchase early access for the leveling.
Yeah, I can't. I'm very excited. I can't wait. So this is, what are we looking at here?
These are the head jewelry.
The head jewelry, okay. So obviously we have none. We have guard. I can't remember what this bottom left one is, and then the right one I believe is chained.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. Yeah, we'll go with that. Out of this grouping, honestly, I think they're all ugly.
Now I have to say,
but if I had to choose one, it would probably be the bottom right,
chain,
because it's the least austere. But I mean,
I do think that they picked a bad horn choice to show these off, because I do like the guard option and I do like the chained option. There's more detail that goes into this that we'll get into in a minute, but I'm not a big fan of the one that I can't think of its name, and I don't think that this was the best horn option to show off these details with, just because and again, that's mostly because to me this isn't the best horn option. So but those are your options as far as which jewelry you can put on your horns. And then here we go. So the other option that goes into that is, depending on your horn, or depending on kind of what you want in your idea of what your dragon looks like, as with all things, our metals have to match our colors, right? Because as a woman, that's what we do. When you put on something, your metal has to be, you don't wear gold and bronze, Gotta wear one or the other. So this is kind of that whole thought process, is when you put some jewelry on, you're putting on something to accentuate or accent what you got going on. So this is kind of cool. I like the color options. I don't think that they needed more per se. I think they did a pretty good job with kind of the base metal colors that are like real world. You got gold, silver, bronze, rose gold, and like cobalt. Like those are pretty common options in real world jewelry options. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them too much. Like I said, I don't know how much use these are going to get on one of my dragons, but maybe if I find a nice color combination, like if I see something I like, I might do it. The lower left one, it's kind of an interesting color. We're not going to wear cobalt. It's a radioactive metal, but it's certainly interesting as a color.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you get those blue horns going, or a blue accent color. Could be interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice color. I actually like the bronze, or maybe it's brass, whatever, a lot better than I like the typical gold.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I think that's a nice. It's a warmer color. I think it would probably fit better in most of the dragon
Yeah.
shades.
I
So
think gold has been played out pretty well with the Blood Elves and Light Forged. So I'm not hating that we've got some more metal options in the game. I know Light Forged can have other options, but I mean the idea is that they're white and gold.
I'm sort of hoping that everybody gets access to some of these other colors at some point.
Yeah.
That might make things a little easier.
So these are ear options. So I thought this was very interesting that they chose to put ear horns.
Spikes?
Yeah, like the spikes. Like those aren't I get it. It's a great way to add spikes because you don't necessarily want a dragon that's got frilly fin ears.
Fins, yeah.
Now, I won't lie, the idea of a blue dragon that's kind of water themed, it's playing around in my head like nobody's business.
I mean, it's doable with the fins down there at the bottom, or even the ones
I
in
like
the middle
this
there.
middle first one. I like this option. I don't mind this bottom right option, but yeah, there's a lot of there. What I like about this is no matter what you do, so you got your color, you got your horns, you got your horn jewelry if you're doing that. This is where you really start changing the shape of your dragon. You know, I could have the exact same horns as somebody else, but then they've got, you know, the double spike ears, and I've got the frilly little, like, fin ears, or you've got the little nubs, which I think is what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I appreciate that they put these in here. It's a really good opportunity to have a really interesting silhouette for your dragon.
Yeah, and I almost invariably go for the middle right there on the bottom, or in the middle row, the right one.
This one?
Middle,
oh.
Right. All the way to the right.
Got it. Sorry.
I invariably just kept choosing that one.
That's spiky.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's not like we're deaf, right? I mean.
Yeah, you still got. I'm assuming you still have like the ear holes.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, exactly. Just behind the spikes.
Yeah. It's
just, and for me, because at that point, I think those end up matching your horn color.
Yes, they do.
So, I couldn't remember. It's been a while, I think that it's just more color, right? Yeah. And that's sort of what I was shooting for.
What I love is we're going from base to silhouette changes, and that's what gets interesting. That's what I love about this new race, is that there are so many options. So here we are.
So here is where I start to have issues with the race. I'm okay with the spikes because dragon, whatever. But there's a feather option.
But it's not feathers. It's fur.
It is absolutely feathers.
I thought, to me, I know what one you're talking about.
It literally says feathers in game.
Oh, I thought it said scales.
The iteration I saw said feather.
Oh. Well, to me, this looks like fur, which I could see because there are, like, I think is it Smog has fur around his neck?
There I mean, sure. I mean, that's fine. But
it's not what I would pick.
But on top of that, we have a Naga neck.
Yeah.
Second from the left.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't mind Naga. I would play a Naga in a heartbeat.
Again, going for that blue dragon water theme, I'm kind of digging...
But a Naga is not a dragon.
No, correct.
It's a snake.
But I'm kind of digging this last on the top. But if I was going to go with a like a non-water theme, I like the little spikes, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the hair.
I mean, again, you're free to be wrong, but you're not taking the rest of us with you.
I know.
But I think it needs to be changed a little bit, and it's not going to happen. And again, I think the texture needs to be a little bit different. I don't know.
Color can change too. That's the other
thing. Maybe it needs to. No, I went through all of the colors when I looked at it.
Yeah.
I did it. I did the thing. I I took 2 hours to make my character. I have never taken that long to make a character.
Oh yeah, it takes
Um,
forever.
I love it. The only other one that I struggled with is the big Stegosaurus plates.
Yeah.
I like them,
Yeah.
but from a certain point of view, man, that's just somebody who hasn't brushed their teeth in 50 years. That's somebody's bottom set of choppers that is just dirty.
I don't see my dragon having nothing like this top option. That's an awful smooth.
That's a wiener.
There you go. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but
that's a wiener.
That's what that
but
is.
No, there. I mean, that's okay though. If you don't want spikes on your back, I mean, that's fine. Because a lot of people, I guess, from what I've read, a lot of people aren't going to spend a lot of time in dragon form anyway. They're trying to get Blizzard to allow us to fight in Visage form.
That's just because they gave the Vizage form so many options.
Oh, we'll get there, folks.
We'll get there. So next is your face.
Fins, spikes, eyebrows.
It's your eye decorations basically. So you have.
And I invariably go with the horns.
You got none, thorns, fins, and bone. The bone to me is just somebody needed to, pluck their eyebrows real bad. The fin option is cute if you're going for that water dragon theme. But I too like the spikes. I think
and none of these are actually bad because some of the dragon faces
look better
can support having absolutely nothing on them.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. And again, don't forget all of this stuff can change colors. So your fin, your inside fin scales, like the lower jaw and the neck on this guy, it's based off of your gradient scale color. Your horns and the bone option above the eyebrow is based off of your horn color.
And the white on the fins will actually are your skin color. So
yes. So then these are your lower lid options. You have none, thorns, and bone as well. Interchangeable, so if you want horns on the top and bone on the bottom, you can. If you want bone on the top and nothing on the bottom, you can do that. All of these are supported and options that are separate.
But keep in mind that if you have like the facial markings, some of them might be hard to see unless you change the color.
Yeah. So. Your jaw, more bone spikes, more fins, more thorns, or nothing. You're really getting into how much is too much and how many spikes do you want on your dragon.
Now, on my character, I maxed out the spikes, and I looked like if I ran into a wall, I was just stuck there.
Yeah. Pincushion.
So, yeah.
Not a bad choice. I mean, dragons have a lot of spikes. It's not...
I mean, you can really spike it up. Now, in this one, I actually chose like the spikes.
I do appreciate
just because I had the bone ridges where my ears were, and in the iteration I saw those ridges, or not ridges, but the ones that go back, actually clipped through the ones that where my ears were.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they fixed that. So I stuck with the little spikes.
I do love this because if you got haymakered by a Coltiran, it'd be a bad day for the Coltiran.
Yeah, that fist's not coming off.
Yeah, you're taking that with you when you fly across the room.
Yeah, you're coming with me, pal.
Yeah, let me save you.
I also really like the fins though.
Yeah, I do too.
Because like even the fins aren't a bad look. Though this is the neck options.
So I'm for this idea. My biggest the woodle thing going on here in this last one.
Neck woodles.
Those are neck woodles. And then I don't know.
I like the idea of the black spikes. The neck woodles I can't get down. But
I mean that just looks like they've got a tumor growing on their neck.
Several of them.
I don't mind the chin woodles.
Those are bone spikes.
Yeah.
And like those ones right there probably would be dangerous for even the dragon because if
you nod your head too hard.
if you fell asleep and just sort of looked down, you're gonna stab yourself.
Yeah.
But all of these would just be extremely uncomfortable, and you'd have to be very careful.
I'm not a super huge fan of anything.
The only ones that I could see using is just the small black ones, or nothing at all.
Yeah.
I gave my character nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm more than I'm not a fan, but there are your options for your neck. All right, so here
Actual eyes.
Yeah, so what you get is eyesight instead of the way that the classes are now, or not classes, sorry, races are now. You can go into your eye color, and some of the eye color options have a left or a right eye or both blind. Which is nice, but what if I want, blue eyes and one of them to be blind, but the the race that I'm choosing doesn't have that as an option? Well, then I'm stuck either not having it, or maybe it has to be the left eye, or maybe it has to be green eyes, With this option, you can not only choose which eye that you're going to be blind in, or if you're going to be blind, period, but your eye color shows up underneath the blind, which is nice. So you can have none, right, left, and both. So pretty cool. I like this idea. I like that they took the eyesight option out of the eye color. So here
are the eye colors.
Are your eye colors.
I mean, pretty much the same color as your bodies.
Yes.
With the exception of black.
Which is dark gray. A lot of, again, the thing that I appreciate about this is the ruby, the jewel tones of the colors. Like, that is a red, that is a really pretty blue. You've got your pink eyes, you've got blue eyes, pink eyes, green eyes. They did a really good job here. I really am excited to play with my eye color. I appreciate that they put this all on a white dragon so that you could really see these colors pop out.
And these are the types of eyes. Cross, slit, and glowing from left to right.
Yep. I can't decide which one I like. I like the cross, and the
glowing ones are pretty good.
I like the glowing though. I do, but I am a fan of the cross pupil. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
So
they're all pretty good.
Oops. Did I click out? I did. Where were we? Did I click out? Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So patterns. So this whole time we've been seeing this middle pattern here with the under. It's like the under eye mascara, but you can actually change that out to all different options. We've got kind of a zebra thing going on with this white dragon with the black, but whatever. I'm kind of excited about this. I don't know what one I'm gonna pick, but I like the idea of kind of the scorched look. And from what I gather, based off the names of these, the idea is like pitch. Like it's not tattoos, it's pitch that they like put on their hands and wiped on their bodies like war paint. So that's kind of cool. Which one do you like?
I mean, if I'm gonna pick one, I don't want it under my eyes, so it's gonna have to be like the middle one. But I want more like the one on the far right, but I just don't want it under my eyes.
Yeah. Because it makes it hard to see your spikies that you have around your eyes.
Yeah.
So then, what are we looking at here? Oh, this is body type. So skinny, medium, getting bigger, bigger. Interesting that they chose a bald dragon for this, but I get it. So again,
the one on the far right is the one that got added after everything.
Yeah, the bulky bulk man, the Chad.
Yep.
Dracthyr. Go Tally.
Yep.
And this is your neck spikes. Or, well, your clavicle.
Shoulder spikes.
Yeah, your clavicle area. I do like the fuller set. He got the neck woos, though.
Yeah.
He made a deal with Nazoth that did not go well.
Yeah, wrong spot.
So, but yeah, I like the crest. If this was like in real life, this would be Bejeweled for sure.
Yeah.
So your arm spikes can have none, you can have some. And again, these match up to your talon color, your wingtip color, your horn color. So you can come up with some pretty interesting choices. Leg spikes, same idea. Matches your talon, your wing color, etc. I kind of like the spikes because you can get into some really interesting like color options again because everything is interchangeable. And then body markings. So you've got none. And I know it's like scorched and burnt, and it's all based off of fire options. And again, these are all separate from your skin color. So like if you look here, he's got a white skin with a purple gradient, and then his painting color is green. So that's kind of cool. Yep. I do appreciate if you look closely at this white dragon, it's actually iridescent, like pearlescent-y colored, which is cool. So excited for this. Playing with it, changing it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
So here are your color options for that.
For the body paint-ish type stuff, yeah.
The only thing that you can get into here if you're not careful is it looks like you're a horse that rolled around in the dirt that needs a good currying.
Yeah.
But some of these can get pretty interesting just depending on what you're doing. I wish they had showed the color variants maybe on a different color dragon, because on white it just kind of looks like it's a dirty boy. But could get interesting. I like the gray. And the red options are pretty. I really like this gray option though. But we'll see.
There's more of a chance to get a different color combination working.
Because you could have a black dragon with like yellow gradient with gray or red. You know, you've got so many options with your blue horns and your bronze guard colors. I mean, you really could line up 100 Dracthyr and every single one be different somehow.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. So
now we're getting into the armor.
Okay. So your headpiece. And I think the idea behind this is also, even though they don't say it, the idea I think is supposed to be like plate mail leather cloth. Even though it's not.
I mean, they can only wear male, obviously. They only have one class.
Right. I understand that. But
I think this is mostly just... I mean, you could be right. And I think that, for the most part, though, this is just another form of expression for other people. I would never. I mean, like, the only thing in this grouping I would consider wearing is probably the hood.
Same. I like the hood. Shoulder options. I do like the chains.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. The shoulders aren't bad, but they're the inferior choice here.
And then your chest plate.
And if you want to wear a corset, I guess, yeah.
And again, you can wear nothing, which is lovely. And on top of
the first one there, I mean, it's a heart.
Well,
I mean, it is pretty cool.
Okay.
I mean, these are all pretty cool. I played around with all of them when I was making the character, but I just happened to the first one as a heart.
Yeah.
And now these go on top of that.
Yeah, this is like your bottoms. The bottom option is like your chest piece, and then this.
It's like a vest.
Yeah.
And then this goes over that, so it would cover up whatever you have there. Yeah.
Yeah. Arm pieces. I like the wings. This is very reminiscent of what they started with the Blood Elves.
Yeah. So these are very cool. The wings are the superior choice here.
Yeah. This reminds me of Grog from Critical Role.
Mm,
I just
I
feel
mean,
like he would wear these.
Probably.
Just bust out of them every now and then. Your
And these go around your
wrists,
elbows and stuff. Yeah.
the idea being kind of either bracers, gloves, like in this option. I do like the talon covers, but not enough to put them on.
If I was a DPS, I would. Like but the bracers, I think are my go-to. The white ones on the top there.
Yeah.
I think those would be my go-to. Because one of them has a ring on the finger.
Yeah.
The look, cool. The look I like.
Yeah. So these are your wing decorations. You've got tip covers and rings, or nothing.
I'm the far right guy there.
Yeah, I like the rings.
I'm the piercings, because that's the only way you can get piercings, and I like to cover my characters in piercings. So
I think they could have done one more option where they maybe put some coverings on the what would be considered the armature of.
You put some cuffs on it or something.
Yeah, like a cuff on it could be interesting.
Yeah, put a cuff if you like it so much. Put a cuff on it.
Yeah. Belts.
Ah, yes, the belts. So I really like the sash here.
Yeah. I just am not a big fan of the belt, period. But if I was going to pick one, I'd be the sash.
These are also good.
Here's your loincloth.
Yep. So I also like the match for the sash here.
Mm-hmm. And then your pant option.
These are thigh plates.
Your thigh
so
plates.
I'm back to the chains here for this one, which doesn't go good with the sash. But
I kind of like this option here. But yeah, I like the chains. Again, I probably won't put much, if any. I might do the wings for my upper arms, but that's probably it.
Yeah, it's going to take me a while to decide. So here we got the talon covers. Well, ankle, it's whatever. But
you got boots, ankle bracelets, and anklets.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a thing to note is that the color choices, they all change. So even though they're being shown in gold and then blue and green, they're all different. So, and here they are proving my point.
Yep.
So,
and the green is so good.
I'm a big fan of the white set. I really like that white set.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
yeah, the green is pretty.
It just weirds me out that, like, there's only a couple of one color, like, right? Like, the green is all greens. The white set isn't white. It's white with blue.
And black set's all one color.
Yeah.
The purple set's all one color, just two different color purples.
Right, but I would want, like, just all one color purple.
Yeah. It's not bad.
It's not.
I'm not going to be wearing a lot of... maybe I'll have one character that has gear on for the sake of having the gear on, but meh. So
now we're on to the tails.
Tail options. You've got everything from nothing to spiky, things of death and fins.
And most people are wandering around with a club tail right now.
Yeah. I know one of my characters is going to be a water type, so either the naga or the fin here. But then outside of that, who knows? And the thing that is kind of sad is they should have done they should have figured out a way to, like, do a topside view of this, because the reality is these two on the ends are interesting looking, like, spikes, spear looking tips. That are hard to see in this screenshot. These are the fins that can go down the back of your tail. So you got the spikes, the fin, or nothing. So you can have even more spikes, even more fins, or you can just be like, yo, bro, I have enough. Let's just chill.
Well, it puts a spike on the very end of the tail.
Well, I think that's if you pick that tail option, but you could be right.
Oh yeah, maybe. No, I guess you're right. They have the one tail option there.
And then
that's that for the Dracthyr.
Yeah.
So you could potentially spend hours building a character.
And that was just the the dragon form. That's not including the Visage form, which we are going to have to go into on a different day. Um, Only because I still want to get to these custom dragon options. Since we're on dragons, the custom dragon options for the dragon mounts. But yeah, there you really can. You'll. I mean, I'm assuming that people will spend at minimum 2 hours because you'll have an hour with your dragon form, and then you'll have an hour with your Visage form, probably. There is an option in game to have your Visage form showing at all times outside of battle. Or you can have the option to be dragon all times in and out of battle, except for when you are flying on your mounts and mounted, you will be kicked into Visage form no matter what right now.
And you have to turn back into a dragon. It's kind of silly.
And then unless you're soaring. So, I personally don't mind. I would probably pick to be in my Visage form outside of combat, but I don't know. I haven't been in the game. I like the Visage form option. I do think it would have been fun to give them the option to choose which Visage form. You know, Chromie is a gnome, and
there's a Valpyra Visage form now in the game, and a troll Visage form.
Yeah, and so there are options that if Alexstrasza can be a blood elf, and Kalik can be a human, and Ysera can be a night elf, then I should be able to pick what skeletal system I have, and then put the Visage crap over the top of that. So, but that's just my opinion. So next we have our first dragon riding mount, which is the renewed Proto-Drake. So we've got just different variations. I think these are the color options that they can be.
Well, no. Well, it can, yes, but these are
random
after you've earned them.
I see.
No, the first one we saw was the basic one.
This one?
Yep.
Jeez,
I'm pretty sure.
I would think that the green one's the basic one, but that snout I know is not basic. But lots and lots and lots of options. There are 137 pictures.
Well, yeah, but each picture is just, it's just this. But basically, these are all things that can be earned in game through achievements, and you can, find them. And as you hit milestones through gaining talents, you'll get some of these things that you can add to your dragon.
These are all back options. Body armor. Brows. That is so cool. Crest options. So this option here. Spikes. It's kind of forehead options, but sure. I'm a beautiful unicorn.
Yeah.
I'm assuming these are eye color options. Yep. Beautiful. Ooh, I like that.
I mean, the eyes are all things we're never going to see, because the way the dragon works, we'll almost never see the front of it.
Yeah, but it's still pretty.
Yeah.
Dang. This is the glow option. And so they basically have the same pupil style
Yep.
as the Dracthyr.
Yeah, they're dragons.
And then we get into hair color. So your dragon has hair. Good Lord. And then we're into head armor. Horns.
Yeah.
Or horn color, I should say. And then horns. None.
Well, it was ears.
Yeah. Whew. Scary. Kind of like those. Twisted. Gotta be a bit extra. That is a scary looking beast. So this is the jaws. You can have spikes. Back there was fur. I don't know why, but I'm getting Last Unicorn vibes off this. Dragon from Dragon Riders. Wow. And then we're into patterns. And this is all just this dragon. Am I missing the pattern? Oh, it's the body. So this last one back here had stripes. And then scale colors. Gosh, that is crazy how many, like, their art department just had a heyday. Make it blue, make it pink, make it blue, make it yellow and green and red. That is insane. So I'm trying to see what the difference is. So 1, 2. Do you see a difference?
Pretty sure it's the wing. No, wait a minute. No. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Now we've got snouts. Whoa.
That's a shark. That's a shark.
That's a bird. That's an alligator. That's a scary bird monster. Whoa.
Turtle.
Tails. And then throats. Spikes. And frills. So that is all the options for the what is this thing called? The renewed Proto Drake. That is a ton. I'm still trying to see what the difference is between these two. I don't see the difference.
Looks like they're just a little bit darker.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. Weird.
Yeah.
There's just so many. So then the next one that we have is the Windborn
Velocidrake.
Velocic Drake.
Velocidrake.
Velocit Drake. That's a lot of words there. So we've got random examples of what they can look like. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. And then we've got armor color. So kind of a bronzy, silver, cobalt, darker bronze or brass, gold, I don't know, rose gold. And then we've got backs. So nothing, fins, different kinds of fins. I'm sorry, that's just funny. It's just hair. He's got a hairy butt. A plate.
I think he's shaped wildly different than his brethren.
Yeah. Feathers. And then we've got body armor. So we've got, I think this is like the nun. And then you've got armor, which is like on the legs and the tail.
And the chest.
And the chest area. And then we have crests, so the top of the head, forehead area, nun. You know, you're aiming for that water dragon look there. There you go.
Mohawk.
Plate, hawk. That's kind of fun. The color, like, is gorgeous, I do have to admit. So these are our ears. So we had nun, like slitty things, fin, ear shapes. And again, the thing that I like about this is the vastly different options that you have in your silhouette. Again, you could line up all your Dracthyr on all of their dragon mounts and you'll have a different option. So I'm assuming their eye colors are the same, so we're going to skip over those.
Yeah.
We got our fur colors, which again are the same, but we'll just see them on this type of dragon. Then we got the head armor, our horn color, and again, just looking at the horn colors on this variation of the dragon. This is our horn options. Very cool. I like those.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the dragon does not have the same horn options.
What is this? Hold on. This is patterns. So that first option was nothing. Then we've got stripes, cheetah print, octopus sucked on the side of it print, and then I'm guessing these are probably going to be colors. Yep. The one thing I'm not loving is these are not screenshots. These are drawings. You know? I don't think this is like air quotes real. So the color variation is going to be off. If that makes sense. Ooh, pretty.
Yeah. This feels a little too rendered.
Yeah. So then again, we've got the scale difference. So I think you're right that the color is just a bit richer on the second scale variation. We have our snouts. This is giving me the not Gelfling, it's the other thing. Skeksis.
Yeah.
Like, please. Please. That's a dog with scales. Nice. He do be looking like he ran into a wall, though.
Yeah.
Tail options. I'm really proud of the art department. That's a giant pine cone.
Hmm.
Throat options. And then, not sure what that was. Oh, it was just the beginning.
Yep.
All
You're back at
right.
the top.
So that's 2 of 4. So then we move into the Cliffside Wilder Drake. So first we've got kind of random.
You'll notice this one sort of has the body type of the Legion Hunter mount.
Yeah. Very wyvern-esque on top of that. So these are just random options to start. And then we've got the different armor colors.
This thing was born to ram into things.
Which reminds me of that thing that Grog wore. These poor people that don't know. Go watch some Critical Role. Season 1. Campaign 1. Alright. So we are down into armor type. So you've got non-armored and armored.
I mean, this guy's he's a puppy.
Yeah. And then we've got crests.
I think this is probably my favorite out of the mounts.
Brows. He's got a good head, I do have to admit. Alright, and then, oh, nice. Nice. I'd stroke that beard. That was pretty good. Brows and crests and chins and more crests. Horns. Nice. Ears. And then I'm going to skip because the eye colors are going to be the same. And we've got our hair colors, just showing you the variations depending on the dragon. Your head armor piece, which is separate from your armor. And we have horn color, only 2 options for this. And then the different horn options. So we got none, mega, junior, woo, curled, epic, split. I'm giving them fake names here. Peacock tail. Ramming speed. Forked. This is a new. See, they got better curls than the Dracthyr did. Leg spikes. Options. You got your noses. These are more reptilian. Like, they did not differentiate. I'm assuming this is pattern. So on the back.
Yep.
You've got stripes, spots, different spots. Oops. Then we have our scale colors. So black, blue, green, red, yellow, and white. And then you have your option 2, which I think we figured out is a little bit nicer. And then we have our tail options. So these guys have leg armor and not, ooh, very wyvern.
That's a scorpion tail.
Yeah.
These are just good boys, though.
And back to the beginning. And then our final, which is my favorite, is the Highland Drake. So random options to start. And we've got our armor colors. Not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't armor up my dragon. At least not with the headgear. We've got our backs. That'd be very uncomfortable to sit on. Like, where are you going to put your saddle on this? Unarmored versus armored. And we've got our brows. Can't wait to see the jaws for these. You got angry eyes.
Dude's got a little bit of an underbite.
Just a bit. So chins. Nice.
Look, it's a storm dragon.
It is a storm dragon. Crest. Nice.
I feel like... Oh, it was his ear. I'm like, I feel like his wing is broken. That is his ear.
Yeah.
Or is a fin, whatever.
Some good options for crest.
Mm.
I'm a unicorn.
A special unicorn.
I'm a special unicorn. I think these are our horn options. Maybe.
Yep.
Ears.
All right.
Whoa.
Hello.
Hi. I'm thinking these are eye
Oh, these
colors.
are the eyes.
Yeah. It's a different way to it's a different way to do that.
Mm-hmm. Just staring.
Hello.
Must be somebody else did these pictures.
So we've got 2 different types of head armor for this one. It doesn't have a jewel in the middle on one of the options. And then we've got horn colors. And then we've got horns. I did not see snout options. I'm thinking that you're stuck with the one snout unless we just haven't gotten there yet. Weird. Jaws. There we go. Right? Maybe? Nope. How spiky do you want it? Legs have none or spikes. Oh, here we go. Still got an underbite like nobody's business here. We got our patterns. None. Striped. Speckled. Or no, spotted, speckled. Cracked. And then we've got our color types. Black. Blue. Green. Red. Yellow. And white. And then our tail options. I'm really excited about this. I like that there are so many choices. We have our throats. Cool.
I don't know how many of these you'll have when you first get the Drake and how many will have to be earned.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I gotta admit, after looking at them, I think I might be the same as you. This just seems like it has some really good options. I liked this one as well. Out of all of them, I like the idea of this one. It just doesn't seem like it has enough, like, that jawline doesn't change depending on the snout that you choose. So maybe once you can, like, really access all your stuff, You could make it look different.
Yeah, because I mean, I watched Tally with, I don't remember which one it was he was working on. I think it was the one that looks most like a proto Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally had like 2 options.
Yeah. So our last thing is just like the announcement that Blizzard made just in the next build. Dragonflight now features advanced turning tech, so it makes them feel like turning is a choice that you have to make versus, oh, I want to go that way, and so suddenly you go that way like you do in flying now. Again, the idea is you're dragon riding. You're not just steering a mount for the sake of getting from point A to point B. The whole point of this is to make it more of an experience. You have to have critical thinking in the early stages of how to get somewhere. There will be places in the map that are not accessible because your Drake just physically can't get there yet. So the more you work with your dragon, the more you learn, the more they train, the better they are.
So that is out, and the consensus currently is that it's a lot more difficult to get around.
Yeah.
You actually have to like practice your turning now.
Yeah.
But currently, with patience, there is no place you can't get.
Yeah. They did give us the motion sickness ability with this.
Yes.
With this new build. I am somebody that will possibly actually have to use that.
I am definitely somebody who will have to use it.
I'm not somebody that normally gets motion sickness unless it's a very specific, unless it's a very specific like movement style that does.
Motion blur gets me every time.
That so it'll just depend on what it is. And then as of this build, watching people that have alpha, you are able to get to the highest, the Skytop Observatory, to the highest dragon skills track, highest area locations right now, and spending your points and collecting dragon glyphs, along with the fact that as of this build, you can now customize the renewed Proto Drake, which you couldn't do before. So every time they're coming out in the alpha, they're adding or taking away something or changing something. So the hope is, according to Tally, and he is somebody I do think anybody that doesn't believe that Tally doesn't already know the answer to every question that he's asked, you better take something. That man knows everything. He's friends with everybody, and he'll tell you otherwise. But
he nailed the alpha date because he knew it. And he told us he knew it. He just couldn't tell us that he knew it.
So whenever he says, I don't know, you can take that with a grain of salt. He totally knows. So he already knows probably the whole roster as far as what's coming out, when it's coming out, how it's going out. I'm sure he knows when beta is. And so just keep an eye. My suggestion is probably to keep an eye on Tally's stream. Other people that you can keep an eye on would be Taliesin and Evitel. I don't think that they have as close of a relationship with Blizzard as Tally does, but they tend to have pretty decent, good guessing skills. You know, it's always a joke that as soon as they post something within 24 to 48 hours, whatever it is that they posted is up and running. So good options to choose as far as looking for content creators to go and watch while you're waiting for the next podcast from us. So that's pretty much what we have today as far as this podcast is getting a little long. We're heading into the hour and 40-minute mark. But
shorter than our normal ones.
This is what we've got as far as the Dracthyr and the dragon riding mount customization options. The goal is to get the Vizage out in our next podcast, along with discussing Well, you tell him, because you know he's running the next one.
We're going to discuss the Visage form, which could take about 13 hours, and then we're going to spend about 19 hours on professions because there's a nice revamp coming in that should breathe some life back into the professions for the game, which I think most people are probably going to hate, but I think there's a select few people that will love it and learn how to make money from it.
Yeah, if you like professions, the new stuff that's coming out, you're going to enjoy it. Um, there is a lot of information coming out that we're pretty excited about as far as building your skills up, talent trees. It's pretty. I'm pretty excited. I am somebody that actually enjoys professions. I'm not great at them. This is something where you actually are gonna, and the reason I'm not great at them is because they are not. Um, aside from cooking and alchemy, like in game, you're kind of not really using it. It doesn't make a lot of money, but with this expansion, it seems like that's not going to be the case. That there's actually going to be kind of a need for your abilities, and the better you are, the higher quality you can make. So, at the very least, I will have leveled my cooking and my herbalism and mining skills to max. um, just to enjoy selling my mats, you know. But I did see some information about like jewel crafting and stuff being revamped and more interesting. And then the episode after that, there is a lot of information. We're trying to break it down into chunks so that you guys aren't overwhelmed. I do believe the next one we're going to take a look at talent trees.
Yep.
Okay. We'll go over all of them, but I will say the more in-depth, knowledgeable stuff will be based off of classes that we play. So personally, my skill set is Resto Druid and Resto Shaman. And then Chris's skills are, I know the answer, but you can tell them.
The Bear, Prot Warrior, Holy Paladin, and some various other junk. Not a great DPS, but I know a little bit about some of them.
And I may have some knowledge on Disc Priest as well. Just kind of depends on what they added into the talent trees. I mained Disc Priest up until the last raid in Legion, so not Tomb of Sargeras. Antorin, there we go, Burning Throne. Then I switched to Resto Druid. I did Resto Druid up until basically when did we get Waverly loaded up? Not that long ago. Like about a month, 2 months ago, I would say. Yeah. And then I really kind of swung away from that into Resto Shaman. And I've really been enjoying that when I do play.
Anything we talk about is going to depend on what talent trees are available to us, because not all of them are out yet. Like Holy Paladin, I don't think has been released.
Yeah.
They released Prot Paladin and Ret, but I think they held off on Holy Paladin.
Well, at the very least, we'll be able to talk about Druid.
Yep, and then Shaman is out.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited that they're giving us the ability. I know we were talking about this. We'll touch on it for 2 seconds, but we'll talk about this more on the actual day. They're giving us, I always felt like it was weird that we left powers behind after learning them. Like, did we suddenly develop Alzheimer's? What the hell? So I'm glad that they're finally swinging that back around and giving us, we talked about how it made sense that we lost the power from our weapons in BFA, not BFA, Legion. There we go.
Legion, yeah.
Because we use that power to kind of put that big sword into hibernation, basically. However, we still should have known the ability, and we kind of do, because you can talent into it in a way, but it's not nearly as powerful, it's not nearly as fun, and so giving us the ability to come home from Shadowlands and have the ability to convoke, and then have the ability to do Ysera's gift if you talent into that, and so on and so forth. For me, these are abilities that I know, they're near and dear to my heart. They're abilities that I used and I understand how they work, and so I'm excited to see them brought back into the game. I'm very excited about the most stupid thing, the ability to buff people as a druid again. I'm kind of excited about that. I hope they actually keep that and it goes into the game, because I always am all the other casters will be buffing you, the mage is giving you fortitude, and or not fortitude, that's priest, but arcane intellect, there we go, and the mage is putting down food, and the warlock is giving cookies, and I'm just standing there, and I always jump and I say buff, and it always makes Chris laugh, because I'm I can't do anything, so I'm buffing you in my head.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It was monk had a buff and druid had a buff, and
now we don't have buffs, and we want the buffs back. And I'll be interested. I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll be interested to see what elemental shaman looks like now. When they took away totemic,
they're insane.
Drop you lost all of your totems as a shaman.
All 3 shaman specs are insane. So all of the talent trees are being designed by different people, and you can tell.
Which is good. They should be.
So, well, yes, but the problem is that some of them are better designers than others.
Wow.
They're not all talent trees are created equal. Some of them are really, really good, and some of them are being created by 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hopefully.
And shamans are stupid good. Warrior, I guess, according to Tali, Prot Warrior is stupid broken good. Unkillable gods was the phrase he used.
So we will go over that soon. So stay tuned. I'm very excited. There's a lot of information rolling out. Alpha has really brought out a lot of information as we get going. Some of the things that I was really excited for, I think we're going to get one of them. We were talking about it earlier, is the time skip for our Shadowlands. Now, it is not the time skip that I was hoping for. I was hoping that we would come home from Shadowlands and X number of amount of time had passed, whether that was 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever time had passed while we were gone. Apparently that is not what happened, but we are getting a time skip according to the most recent alpha builds. It's quote.
Well, we did get the 5 years you hoped for. We got 6.
We got several, which is...
No, 6. They gave us an exact number.
Oh, I didn't see the exact number. But...
Yeah, they gave us an exact number. It was 6. And even if it was several, that's still more than 5.
More than 2. It's more than 2.
No, that's a few.
Yeah, a few is 2 or less, and then several is more than 2.
2 or less, no, 2. 2 is a couple. Yeah. Anything less than that is 1. A few is 3. Several is 5 or more.
Okay. See, math today. We have done math together. Either way, we did get a time jump. I don't...
But they did tell us it was 6 years.
I don't think we're going to get... The only place I think we're going to see any sort of change, I think we'll see something with Undercity, and I think we'll see something maybe with Gilneas. Maybe.
Well, now that we've cleared Undercity, they could rebuild part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they'd get in 6 years, but
what was
I guess they could use magical stuff to do it, I guess, but...
Well, and then what was the point of the conversation between, or well, the letter that Kalia wrote to Gen, if there wasn't something that was going to come of that soon?
No, yeah, no, I agree.
So hopefully, even if it's not in the first patch of Dragonflight, my hope would be by the end of Dragonflight we will see an iteration of that time jump. And I want to feel like the time jump happened. That's my big thing. Is like they specifically said that time moves differently in the Shadowlands than it does in real life, like in real time, air quotes, Azeroth time. And for them to not have time jumped us through that when we come back, it bugs me. Like we need a time jump. And so I'm glad that they're doing one, and I hope that somewhere it is reflected. Like maybe it'll be reflected in those mysterious buildings that are being made in Stormwind and Orgrimmar. That is over by the in Stormwind, it's over by where the Stockades dungeon is, and in Orgrimmar, it's where the Guild Master used to be. Well, and currently is in retail. But on the, like in the PTR, well, actually no, as of now, it's where the Guildmaster used to be. There's an empty space there with some buildings and a quest that you can do, both in Stormwind and in Orgrimmar. But the quest is like, wake up some lazy peons, talk to somebody, and then, okay, thank you for doing that. And that's it for now. So hopefully there's more to that. We do need to do those quests, though, because I wonder if they're going to go away.
We can go check, yeah.
Will. So anyway, that's it for tonight, or today, or tomorrow, or whenever you're watching this.
It's currently 3:34 in the morning.
Yes, and I have to go to work. Woo! Thankfully, I don't have to be to work until later in the afternoon, but I must to bed immediately. And yeah, so thank you for watching or listening and doing whatever it is that you're doing. I always recommend, at the very least, listening to it while you play WoW. But hopefully you got some information. Maybe we gave you some ideas for your Dracthyr. I know I have a bunch of ideas for mine. Again, having 4, I at least get some of my options. I'm looking.
This is why I never get any sleep, guys. She says she wants to go, and then she starts talking again.
I'm leaving. I'm saying goodbye. Good night. Goodbye. Good night.
We love you guys. Good night.
Bye.